Welcome to the Morning Mindset Podcast with me, Craig Skelton. Each day we kick off your morning with positivity, actionable insights, and the motivation you need to conquer the day ahead. Whether you're looking to develop a positive mindset, a habit of persistence, or simply starting your day on the right foot, this podcast is your daily dose of inspirational and practical advice. And today's topic, I'm talking about overcoming negative self-talk when you're self-employed. It doesn't matter whether you're a sole trader, small firm, large firm business owner, running your own small business, a negative self-talk can be an enemy. It creeps in when things don't go as planned, when a client says no, or you can't get hold of that lead, or when you're facing a mountain of tasks with no clear path. But the good news is you don't have to let that inner critic rule your day. You don't have to let them rule your world. So that's why I wanted to get on today's topic was about and exploring why negative self-talk happens, how it affects us, and most importantly, how to overcome it with practical strategies and routines. Negative self-talk is that little voice in your head that criticizes you, doubts your abilities, and undermines your confidence. It's the voice that says things like, you're not good enough, you'll never succeed, or what if you fail? As a self-employed person, you're often working in isolation without colleagues or a boss to offer feedback or encouragement. This isolation can make you more vulnerable to negative self-talk because there's no one else around to challenge those thoughts. You become your own worst critic. But why does this happen? Well, the root of negative self-talk often lies in our upbringing or past experiences. Maybe you grew up in an environment where perfection was expected, or perhaps you've had a few setbacks that chipped away your confidence. And over time, these experiences can create a mental script that plays on repeat, telling you that you're not capable, even when the evidence shows and suggests otherwise. And the problem with negative self-talk is that it's self-fulfilling. If you keep telling yourself you can't do something, you're less likely to try. And even if you do try, you might sabotage your own efforts just because deep down you don't truly believe that you can succeed. And this is a vicious cycle, but the first step to breaking it is awareness. Now let's talk about how this impacts your work as a self-employed individual. When you're constantly bombarded by negative thoughts, it affects not only your mindset but also your actions. For instance, if you keep telling yourself you're not good enough, you might avoid taking on challenging new things or pursuing new opportunities. You might undercharge for what services you're providing because you don't believe you are worth. You might undercharge for your services purely because you don't believe your work is worth more. You might procrastinate because the fear of failure makes starting impossible. And negative self-talk can also lead to burnout. When you're constantly putting yourself down, every task feels just so much heavier, so much weighter. Every setback feels confirmation of your worst fears, and every success just feels like a fluke. And this mental exhaustion can drain your energy, leaving you far less productive and far less creative. But the truth is, your business can only grow as much as you allow yourself to grow. If you're constantly limiting yourself with negative self-talk, you're putting a ceiling on what you can achieve. So let's get into how to overcome negative self-talk. So the first thing you need to do is identify and challenge your negative thoughts. And you can catch those as they happen, paying attention to the things you say to yourself, especially when you are stressed or tired or facing a challenge. When you notice a negative thought, stop and ask yourself, is this really true? Often negative self-talk is based on fear rather than actual fact. For example, if you find yourself thinking, oh, I'm terrible at this, ask yourself, what evidence is there? What evidence do I have to support? Maybe you've had some success in the past that you are ignoring, or maybe you're still learning and you need to cut yourself some slack. By questioning of your negative thoughts, you can start to weaken their hold on you. And once you've identified a negative thought, the next thing you need to do is try to reframe it into something more positive and more realistic. This doesn't mean you have to be overly optimistic or ignore the real challenges, but rather shift your perspective to something far more constructive. So for instance, instead of saying I'm terrible at this, you could reframe it and say to yourself, I'm still learning and it's okay to make mistakes. Or instead of I'll never succeed at this, think about success takes time and effort and I'm on the right path. Reframing your thoughts helps you move from a fixed mindset where you see your abilities as static to a growth mindset where you see challenges as opportunities to learn and to grow. And the third thing to is then develop a routine of positive affirmations. Affirmations are a powerful tool. By repeating positive statements about yourself and your abilities, you can start to override those old negative scripts. Create a list of affirmations that resonate with you. These could be things like, I'm capable of handling any challenges, my work is valuable and appreciated, or I do have the skills to succeed right now. Make it a habit to say these affirmations every morning, or whenever you feel that inner critic is starting to creep through. Consistency is key. The more you repeat these positive statements, the more they'll start to feel true. And over time, they can help build your confidence and reduce the power of that negative self-talk. The fourth thing too is surround yourself with positivity. Another effective way to combat negative self-talk is surrounding yourself with positivity. This could mean spending time with supportive friends or family, engaging with uplifting content, or joining a community of like-minded, self-employed individuals who understand your challenges and offer encouragement. And when you're surrounded by positive influences, it becomes easier to maintain a positive mindset. You'll also have a support system to turn to when you're struggling, which can be invaluable when you're self-employed. Practice mindfulness and meditation are powerful tools for managing negative self-talk. By practicing mindfulness, you can become aware of your thoughts and learn to observe them without judgment. This awareness allows you to catch negative thoughts before they start spiraling control. And meditation, you create a sense of inner calm and detachment from your thoughts. Even just a few minutes of meditation every day can help reset your mind and reduce the impact of the negative self-talk. Finally, let's talk about how to build a routine that supports a positive mindset and helps you overcome negative talk on a daily basis. And it is about morning routine, starting your day with intention. Before you dive into work, take a few minutes to set a positive tone for the day. This could be practicing gratitude or your affirmations, or spending a few minutes meditation. Whatever you want to do, then just choose the ones that will help you begin the day with a clear, focused mind. And then throughout your work, be mindful of yourself. When you notice negative thoughts creeping in, just pause, take a deep breath, challenge that thought, reframe it, and replace it with positive affirmation. It can also be helpful to take short breaks to reset and refocus. And also, I've talked a lot about morning routines, but what about routines too? At the end of the day, reflect on your accomplishments. What have you achieved for the day? Write down 3 things that you did well. No matter, this will help reinforce a positive self-image and can counteract any negative self-talk that might pop during the day. So overcoming negative self-talk is not an overnight process. It's constant effort and the right strategies. You can quiet that inner critic and build a mindset that supports your personal success and your business success. So remember, being self-employed is a journey filled with ups and downs, but you have the power to shape your experience by managing your thoughts and your beliefs. Thank you for joining me on today's Morning Mindset podcast. I hope you find these tips helpful and encouraging you to start implementing them today. If you've enjoyed this podcast, please subscribe, share it with anyone who you feel might benefit from getting rid of negative thoughts and working on that strategy. So have an amazing day, stay positive, stay focused, and run your own race.